One of the interesting things about Hanukkah that everybody seems to talk about is this great war between the Greeks and the Jews. But when we take a look from a Talmudic perspective, it's sort of strange because the Talmud actually emphasizes its love of Greek culture, its love of Greek language. It talks about even biblical books that could be written in the language of Greek, something which is forbidden for any other language. And there were even rabbis who hundreds and hundreds of years later continued to have names like Rabbi Alexander, which was after the leader of the Greeks. So the question really is, what kind of a conflict was there between the Greeks and the Jews that led from this praise to the situation that culminated in the War of Hanukkah? So one of the things that we really want to take a look at today is the difference between logic and rational. That which is from God is not necessarily always logical, even though it's never irrational. That which comes from the wisdom of man, by its very nature, is always logical. And when there's a conflict between logical human nature and divine wisdom, unless there's an ability for these two to work in sync, they become a conflict. Noah, when he named the blessings of his children after the destruction of the world, understood the hierarchy of placing the wisdom of his son, Japhet, who was the great-grandfather of the Greeks, inside the tent of Shem, Shem representing spirituality. Therefore, the brilliance of human mind should actually be part of elevating godly wisdom in this world. The Baal Shem Tov says that this is actually hinted at in the Hebrew word guest, oreach. Oreach is the word or, which means the light, chet of the number 8, Hanukkah. Hanukkah is a world in which the light of the soul can illuminate the world that we live in. And this is hinted at in a very deep idea, because according to Jewish tradition, the world was created on the 25th of Elul, several days before what we call Rosh Hashanah. Now, if the world was born on the 25th of Elul, what day was the world conceived? If we move back 9 months, we come to the day 25 of Kislev, which is the first candle of Chanukkah. The struggle, therefore, between the human mind left without holiness, which creates darkness, and the divine light, which is trying to emanate into the world, is symbolized actually in the difference between the word in Hebrew for Greece, which is Yavan, and that which symbolized divine light, which is Zion. Both words have the same letters. The word for Greek is the letter Yud, Vav, and Nun. The word for Zion is also Yud, Vav, and Nun, but it has the letter Tzadi before it. What is the difference between these two mentalities? So the natural cycle of human history is that things begin with a brilliant idea. Communism, democracy, all of these things on paper, they're wonderful. Then they come to the level of the Vav, which takes the idea of the Yud and brings it down to the world. Practically, things don't tend to really work as they want to work, and ultimately, like the final Nun, which goes below the baseline, that society disappears. The difference in divine wisdom is it also goes through cycles of that nature, except the fact that it's preceded with the letter Tzadi, which represents holiness, Kedusha in this world. Therefore, it always has the ability to recreate itself and come back to life. This is the history of the Jews. It does not fit into world history. The greatest proof of God is the fact that there are even Jews alive today. And this is the real miracle of Hanukkah, that the oil will always float above the water and bring God's light into this world.